Welcome to the presentation for our paper, Experiencing Simulated Confrontations in Virtual Reality. The work in this paper was conducted together with Arthur Jones, Wayne Christian, Andrew Westerside, Frankie Mulloy, Liam Wilson, Kieran Hicks, Kathrin Gerling and Adrian Parke. I would also like to mention that Arthur Jones completed the study for his master's degree at the University of Lincoln. So virtual characters are widely used in virtual reality applications and in many different contexts. And previous work has shown that in some respects, users respond to virtual characters in similar ways as they do to real people. This affords the potential for virtual characters to be used in VR training simulations, which seek to recreate real-life interactions, such as dealing with difficult or unusual situations. However, virtual characters sometimes lack believability. In the work we present here, we explore these issues, specifically in the context of simulated confrontational behaviour. The aim of our study was to investigate the response of participants to confrontational behaviour by a virtual character in VR, as compared to the same experience when viewed on a 2D display. We contextualised our study to the behaviour of gamblers in a betting shop, as employees of such shops often had to deal with difficult or challenging behaviours from customers. Specifically, we were interested in emotional response, sense of presence, and factors affecting believability of the character. We used a between-subject design, so one group of participants experiences behaviours in VR, and the other on a large 2D screen. Previous work looking at similar character behaviours in VR has identified believability and authenticity as potential issues. We therefore carefully constructed a behaviour sequence using an iterative process of scripting and motion capture, and built a research team which included expertise in the behaviours of gamblers and also in performance research and practice. We used the motion capture data to create a 3-minute sequence of behaviour in the Unity 3D engine, which is viewed from the perspective of a betting shop employee. The gambler in the sequence is playing an electronic gaming device. It becomes increasingly agitated because he is losing too much money, and eventually becomes angry and demands his money back from the employee. Participants experience the character behaviour either in VR or on the 2D screen. We also control for perceived size and distance by adjusting the view distance and virtual camera position in the 2D condition. We use the state trait anxiety inventory, applied pre and post condition, and the ITC sense of presence inventory to record participants' emotional response and sense of presence during the conditions. We also conducted a short semi-structured interview with participants to help understand factors affecting their sense of character believability. We hypothesized that participants in both conditions would report an elevated sense of anxiety, but that this would be higher in the VR condition. We also hypothesized that participants in VR would experience a higher sense of presence, and that this was correlated with reported anxiety. We compared pre- and post-state anxiety scores for both conditions using paired t-tests. In both cases, we saw a statistically significant elevation in post-condition scores, supporting hypothesis 1. To test hypothesis 2, we compared the differences between pre- and post scores between the two conditions using an independent means t-test, and found that elevation was higher in the VR condition. We compared subscale scores for the ITC sense of presence inventory using either independent means t-tests or equivalents. We found statistically significant higher scores for the VR condition for sense of physical space, engagement, and ecological validity. We also tested for Pearson correlations between subscales of the ITC sense of presence inventory and state anxiety, and found a positive correlation with sense of physical space in the VR condition only. We used thematic analysis to analyse the interview data and identified 5 themes relating to character believability. Our first theme captures how participants referred to the character's behaviour positively when discussing aspects of believability. When talking about factors which reduce believability, participants predominantly mention visual aspects, and this is described in theme 2. Themes 3, 4 and 5 capture participants' variety of experience, limited interactivity of the scene, and contributions of audio. Our results suggest that virtual reality platforms may be more able to evoke emotional responses from users in simulations of confrontational behaviour, which may help guide designers of training simulations to make appropriate platform choices. Much existing discussion of character believability in VR has focused on perceived intelligence and issues with uncanniness. Our qualitative data suggests that motion capture performance might be well suited to reproducing certain types of behaviours, and we suggest that future work could explore how to integrate captured human performance with procedural animation methods. Please take a look at our paper for more details.